Hello everyone, Nick the DM here with more March of the Modrons. In today's video, we'll be touching on one of the most important moments in Modron history, the Rogue March. I made a video a while ago on the Great Modron March, but this is not your normal march, so let's get into it. Like most great stories, the story of the Rogue March doesn't start with the Modrons at all. This story starts with Orcus, Prince of the Undead. Orcus had risen to power from a mortal to a demonic larva and eventually a demon lord. Throughout his thousands of years of conquests in the Abyss and even among the other planes with the help of his worshippers and those he granted power to, Orcus had caught the unfortunate attention of Kioran Sali, a drow lesser deity of vengeance and the undead. Why the goddess's attention fell on Orcus, no one really knows. Perhaps he had spited her in the past, or maybe he was encroaching on her domain of undead with too little caution. Some say the dispute was over something as trivial as an insult directed towards the goddess. Regardless, she conspired against him, and through treachery and surprise, slew him, taking over his realm and position of power. The goddess then decreed that the demon lord's name be removed from history. While she did not have the power to remove it from the minds of all mortals and worshippers, she was able to remove it from texts and at least order others to not speak the name again. However, Orcus had not truly died, for the demon lord's power, influence, and number of worshippers infused him with some semblance of godhood, and it is not so easy to slay a god. Orcus arose from his death-like slumber in a new form. Not truly alive, his form mirrored that of the undead he once ruled. In his new slim, shadowy form he chose a new name. No longer Orcus, he was Tenebrous. Having lost most of his power and divinity, he was weakened, but still much stronger than any mere mortal. In order to restore his lost power, Tenebrous needed a talisman that contained a portion of his original power. A tool that contained a portion of his very essence. He needed his wand. He had lost the wand of Orcus when he died at the hands of Kioran Sali, who had then hidden it away. In his quest to reclaim his power, Tenebrous had acquired a power known as the Last Word, a word so powerful it could be used to kill anyone, including the gods themselves. Tenebrous had gone to many realms and planes before he came to Mechanus. Tenebrous knew of only one entity who could explore the whole of the outer planes while staying safely within their realm of power, the supreme Modron and ruler of Regulus, Primus. With Tenebrous's power and the help of his undead servants, he was able to infiltrate the tower of Primus and cut the supreme being's communications to his underlings. Using the power of the Last Word, Tenebrous slayed Primus and secretly took his place at the top of the Modron hierarchy, unknown to any other Modrons. Using the Infinity Web, Tenebrous began to control the Modrons in secret and initiate a Great March. This specific one was later named the Rogue March. The Modrons were completely unaware of the death of Primus, but they all somehow knew something was wrong. They didn't know what or why they all felt this way, but planar entities that saw the march all said that the Modrons had a crazed look in their eyes. The Rogue March caused disaster among the planes, starting nearly 200 years early, making it less than a century since the last Great March. The residents of the outer planes were shocked. They had known the Modrons to be like clockwork and had always prepared for the inevitability of the next Great March. More so than being off schedule, Tenebrous's quest to find his wand caused him to plan a much harsher and more chaotic route through the planes to allow the Modrons to cover more ground and report back to their hierarchs upon their return. The Great March had occurred since the beginning of the Modrons' creation. As such, Primus had arranged to have pacts made with rulers of realms the march passed through over the millennia to ensure the Modrons could complete this arduous task with as much ease as possible, following roads and paths agreed upon when the deal was made. Unfortunately for the Modrons, and any other creatures in their way, most of these pacts only held up if the Modrons arrived on schedule, making this one of the most treacherous and destructive marches in the history of Modron society. Despite the chaos within the Outer Planes, any god whose realm resided within those planes would never interfere with the march. One example was during the Rogue March. The march was headed straight towards the Golden Hills, the domain of some gnome deities, and rather than halting the march, the deities instead chose to move the entirety of the Golden Hills realm. Some frequent travelers of the plains speculate that direct divine intervention is forbidden by Primus in some sort of deal made with the powers of the multiverse. At the end of this march, Tenebrous abandoned the Infinity Web. His goal was complete. The wand was somewhere on the lower planes and he needed to go find it in person. Calling his minions, he left Mechanus, leaving the Modrons to promote a new Primus. And as I talked about in the Rogue Modrons video, that came with its own complications. And that is it for the story of the Rogue March. The Planescape adventure, The Great Modron March from Advanced D&D, details the Rogue March in many small adventures that can be connected to one large quest for a party to experience this event alongside the march, with additional side quests for the PCs to encounter and enjoy. This is a pretty cool adventure and I might run it one day, rather than just read it for the topics like today's video. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!